During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk about ditches. Let me first say this with ditches. Out in the country, we have what we call township roads. They aren't monitored by the state or the county. They're just monitored by the township in your particular area. Well, technically as a landowner there, I own to the center of the road. So half that road, if I'm the landowner, is mine. Along with that road is the ditch and the responsibility to take care of ditches.
I think I should do that with my driveway, Brian, when it comes to scooping snow. Just tell each of my kids, you own half of the driveway. That's your half. You got to keep it clean.
I'm sure that'll work well.
You think about this. You're right, Brian. You're paying taxes up to the middle of that township road, and you've got to do all the weed control and other things that are going to happen out in that ditch. Now, that's one of the responsibilities I wanted to talk about, weed control, because think about it. If you don't control the weeds, not only does it look bad and your neighbors are going to give you a hard time, but those weeds are going to spread out into your field and take away some of your yield too. So there is an economic thing there for the farmer that, you know, not only do I have to do it to be a good neighbor, I kind of need to do it to make sure I don't have more weeds in my fields.
One of the big questions we get to is, why are there fence lines outside of some fields and there are no fence lines in front of other fields? Well, look, that again is just really the preference of that landowner. Do they want fences or do they not? Like for us, for example, when we got rid of our livestock on our farm years ago, then we started taking out fences. The only reason we had fences in there was to keep the livestock in when we would turn them out. Since we don't have livestock, we've taken the fences out, which makes it a little bit easier to do the weed control like Darren's talking about.
Well, and speaking about livestock, you see some farmers that will bale up the grass out in those ditches, and that's a good way to, number one, keep it mowed, but number two, make some useful thing out of the ditch. Now you've got some value there that you're harvesting hay that you can feed to cattle, and that's a good thing too. Now in many areas, this is going to be really important, especially on a dry year like 2021 is for many farmers, to have some additional hay for their cattle, but not all farmers are going to do that. Some farmers will do other things to the ditch, like even burn the grass out, especially in the fall or very early spring. You'll see some farmers that'll do some burning. They'll try to get rid of all that dead grass and other things that may be out in the ditch so that grass can start fresh next spring.
Well, it's not only that, it's also so the ditch catches less snow. Sometimes that certainly can be an advantage. Well, where I started with this is the farmer owns all the way to the middle of the road on a lot of these township roads, but the township still tells the farmer what that person or the landowner, what that person can and cannot do. So for example, you can't go farming into the ditch, you can't raise crop into the ditch, you can't have trees that are going to lean way out over the road or anything like that. So there are still many regulations we as landowners are required to follow, but again, it's up to us, if we're the landowner, to be responsible for that ditch.
Well, one of the things that you may find out in a ditch somewhere is our weed of the week. Can you identify this week's weed?